Hey guys, welcome to Coma Pirate Radio, where we slide our boats together, throw the ropes, tie the knots, and talk about the maps. We are here with the heavenly bodies and the constellations, the solar party paradigm. These cards are astrology flashcards created to help you read the code and receive your own unique downloads for the light, frequency, and vibration that it is. So I'm going to do these a little bit differently. The weekly ahead, let's look at the whole party, is a lot of energy to do weekly. So we're going to change it up. We're just going to focus on one archetype at the party at a time. 111. I guess that's confirmation. So today we have a special, well, not just today, but the last couple of days, we have had a very special shift in the party. The boss, the owner of the venue, the avatar that energetically pays for everything, the one writing the checks, right? The gangster, the boss, the big daddy, right? I mean, giving, that's why it's masculine. Daddy, doesn't matter if it has a female body, if it feels masculine, it's fire. And Sagittarius, that's very phallic, it's masculine, it's pushing. Okay, I know, redundant, oh my God, can you please? I get it. These cards help you focus on the avatar, just like in a video game. Right? You create your avatars for your games. So we create an avatar in the solar party paradigm of your own boss. What does your boss look like? Okay. We have all of these words to help you paint a mental image of what your unique boss looks like and what sign your boss is in your chart, okay? But if you followed the solar party paradigm in the last couple of videos, we know that there has been two bosses, twins. We use the constellations as character types. It's fleshing out the avatar with his character and his skills, what this avatar can do. Now, we've had two bosses at the party for quite a while now because Jupiter's big and he moves kind of slow, you know. The boss does. He doesn't need to move fast. He's the boss. He's hopeful and optimistic and funny and stable. Like, even the symbol is a 4. How can you deny it? And he's been split in 2 as a Gemini, but no longer. So I don't want to focus on this very much. No longer do we have two bosses that could possibly be arguing with each other about how to pay for everything, right? How are we going to pay for all this? Now, he's in Cancer, which this is my placement. So I have worked with this energy my entire life, and I can tell you it's not all fun and games. All right. The crab is a crab because if you really watch crabs, and I've spent a lot of time on beaches 444. observing crabs and how they are sensitive with the water and how they're emotional and how when the tide comes in, the crabs disappear and even their holes are gone and you can't see, you wouldn't even think there was any crabs there. But when they do come out, it's abundant. All right. And there's usually little pinching wars going on. Who can pinch more than who? And oh my God, crabs. If you you got to sit and watch them. Anyway, it gives you an idea of what this energy feels like. So in the solar party paradigm, we paint the avatar with blue skin. So we have a boss that has blue skin with tattoos of waves and moons. Or he doesn't have to have blue skin if you don't like the blue skin, just blue clothes if you want him to be more humanoid or if you feel he's more alien. However it looks like 555 to you in your paradigm, because these aren't here to tell you how to do it. It's to give you just enough information so that you can do it on your own. So you can order these cards on my website, centerofmysticarts.com. And remember that the center is always you. I'm not trying to replace anybody's center, right? So now that we have this shift, we're going to feel, well, the superpower of this avatar, the crab boss, is that this crab energy can protect the entire sphere with salt, the party, right? The exoskeleton is symbolic of protection. The salt from the ocean is symbolic of the protective. Why is salt even protective? I mean, because it used to be the first currency, you see. So there's a lot to salt. I really like licking salt. Sticking your tongue out in public, on camera, to protect the entire party with salt. Benevolent, romantic, but sensitive and a little bit secretive. This Cancer, I have found, because my Mars is also in Cancer, they like to work behind the scenes, mostly. But they also value working behind the scenes as much as working in front of the scenes with their pinchers raised high. If you've walked through like the jungle path to a beach and you see some of the jungle crabs that are like ginormous, they ain't scared of shit, right? They will come out and kill you. I love their energy. It don't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter how big you are, Jupiter. My pinchers, I'll kill you. And the crabs are so small, but I mean, there's some big crabs. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is pull some cards for like a cosmic dialogue to kind of talk to the boss. I'm trying to do things a little bit differently. You know, the boss generally does lay down the law. If I were to let you know, like, who's giving you the signals, like, because that's important. That's important to understand where the code and the signals are coming from, right? You want to know that it's from a good source. So the boss generally is the one where he gives the okay, signs the signature that is okay. this shall pass. This, no, that's not going to work. You know, maybe he says that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. That one's hard, especially if you want everything to work, optimistic and generous and benevolent and loving and, you know, don't kill the crab. So, we're going to use the unicorn deck, and I'm going to try and be decent. You know, as I shuffle, I can talk about top surgery, because I am one that has always felt more comfortable without my shirt on, and have always been really aggravated that my brother could walk around without a shirt and I couldn't. That pissed me off, because that is not fair. It's not fair. On a deep inner child level, it's not equal. Equal rights. As a Libra, I know my rights. It still makes me angry. But I don't want to cut my boobs off. And I mean, much respect for those who do. It's cool. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. I like it. It's kind of cool. But I don't want to, right? Like, I like my boobs. She says what? I think that's what he says. Is that what he says? That's what he says. He says, I like your boobs. Don't cut them off. That's just me personally. Cut them off if you want to. All right. What is the masculine? What is the boss? Let's rein it in, boss. Stop looking at the boobs. There's a message there. You know there's a message. There's always a message. There's always a message in everything. But the boobs as the, like, knew it, as the sustenance, the milk. God, okay, you can't do that on camera. You can't. Oh, yes, I can. Stop. Let's look at the cards and find out what the boss has to say in Cancer. Very emotional, and actually a little, like, because Jupiter is such a masculine energy, the Cancer brings in a little bit of feminine energy, making this an androgynous boss, right? Like, I don't know what's in their pants. That's the boss. I wouldn't dare ask what's in your pants to the boss, or what's under your shirt. I mean, that's easy to tell whether you got boobs or not, which is back to the boobs. But always, and then you lose your focus. Because, okay. All right. You're having too much fun on camera, Cancer. Androgynous boss. The first thing they want to say is the 9 of Hearts. It's that time. And the 9 upside down, the 6. You're right there at the end of the race. The 9 is the last number. And I always see and visualize and feel a runner right there at the last stretch. You know, your own 2 legs running. And that is when you put everything you can into it. That's when you dig so deep you find the electricity that you didn't think you had to keep running. stable from the boss. But this is water with the hearts, cups, emotions. So what the Cancer boss, the crab boss in the solar party paradigm is telling us here is the emotional state that you can get the crowd at the very end of the game. The last pitch, the last swing, the last kick, the last stretch. The crowd goes wild. You crazy. I don't have to be there. I don't even want to be there. Physically? Hell no. Dude, that is the last place I would physically want to be. I would be completely overwhelmed. And I mean, it's not like I haven't experienced it in small doses in my very long lifetime and past life memories. But I don't want to go on and on about me, but past life memories, I can remember being trampled in crowds. I'm a little human. I'm not a big human, although I feel like I should be. Anyway, is that it? Is that all you want to say? No, he wants to pull one more card. He or she, whatever they identify as. Well, or you could just say more about the 9. The 9 is between, well, it brings in Hermit and Sun energy in the 9 and the 19 of the tarot. That does bring in a whole lot more. The Hermit means a lot to me. And the Crab. Crab energy is very dependent on the hole, the crab hole, the isolation, the hermitedness, hermeticism, Hermes. Writers know to be able to really write. That can be hard. Isolation. When you're lonely. Says the unicorn. Ooh. There's a lot of that I'm personally going through, but I'm feeling this completion and this connection to the sun. The Hermit is deeply connected with the sun. As above, so below. 6. Upside down in love. You know, the 9 is deeply compassionate about the other side, the polar opposite. It's what makes the electricity. You can't just have one pole. I mean, there's a lot to that. There's a lot of poles. There can be only one. Okay, anyway. The equal rights. As above, so below. The Hermit is valued just as much as the celebrity. That would be the opposite of the Hermit, the celebrity. Oh. There's a lot to that. Celebrities are loved, are they not? I mean, they have to be celebrities, but there's For that to exist, there has to be the polar opposite. And the pole is equal. So the more you're loved, the more you're hated. And what the hermit suffers is loneliness. And what the celebrity suffers from is judgment, reputation. This is 20 minutes. I'm done. I'm done. I think I'm happy with some of the changes. I know that I have a lot of content, and I did want to mention that I'm going to be shifting from the hermit mode into traveling around and doing my tattooing. And there's not going to be a lot of time for fresh content, but I have a lot of pre-recorded content that I will be circulating in the next few months. And I want to spend most or all of my current whereabouts and what's going on, like where I'm going to put my current information, is going to be on the Patreon account, where I am. If you want to get in touch with me, if you want to like hook up, not like that, but like, you know, I'm going to be carrying physically these cards. Maybe you want to look at these cards and buy a deck, you know, out of the car, out of the back of my car, you know. Consumerism is it has to change with the boss. 2211. Our consumerism and how we exchange and how we spend our money and time, that was 2222, is going to change. The boss has changed. Everything comes from the boss. Therefore, the entire venue is going to change. You know, even if the front door is still a waterfall in Pisces, the boss just changed, right? So, when you go in, it's going to feel different. The door might look the same, you know, for a little while. I don't know when the nodes are going to shift. I'll have to look at that through AstroSeek. One of the things that these cards do, or enable me to do, and anybody who has these cards, is to just look up AstroSeek current placements, and you don't have to spend hours reading about how they all interact with each other, because it's a lot, which is why my solar party paradigm videos are going to shift a little bit, because sitting there, it's, you know, it feels like, it's kind of cool because it kind of feels like a sports broadcaster, right? Because a sports broadcaster has to say everything really fast and talk about every single move and talk about every single player and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just, I mean, it's cool. I felt it. But it wasn't sustainable for me. Is it too linear? I think it's the speed and the overwhelmedness. I get overwhelmed. I like to digest slowly. And a lot of people that know me would think that that's not true. Like, I'm fast. I move really fast. I move really fast. But that's not necessarily true. My digestion likes it slow. And that's why a lot of times, I have these social anxieties because I feel everybody coming in so fast. There's so much, we're starting to understand that, the overwhelmed, why we get overwhelmed, what is overwhelming us. And it's, the sensitivity, which lives in Cancer. The sensitivity. The exoskeleton helps, right? As opposed to Pisces, the fish. I mean, garfish. If you've seen a garfish's skin, if you've ever tried to eat a gar, they have just as much exoskeleton as crab. There's that sensitivity as well. And even the Scorpio has got that sensitivity and an exoskeleton. To be sensitive, you have to have a crust, do you not? Because you couldn't handle it. You can't handle the truth without me. That's real. That's real. The ooey gooey insides and how terrifying it is for a crab to feel like they're being seen with no clothes on. Oh, I've never worried about that though. I really haven't. I can hang out on nude beaches and be perfectly comfortable. Actually, more comfortable than in public. I like it all out in the open. And that's just the truth. I don't like anybody around me that has any weirdness, and that's why it's a strict membership. That's why you have memberships. Country clubs. Jupiter. 5'5" as I looked up. All right, 27. Yeah, that's getting close to 30. So anyway, check out the Solar Party Paradigm at centerofmysticarts.com. Thank you so much for tuning in as an esoteric pirate. Whether you're traveling physically or mentally, it's the same thing. May it be in love, light, and don't forget the shadow. And don't forget your magic bag. The magic bag, I have found that it does come from Virgo. The energy. The magician, it gives you the magician's tools. The tools of the magician are in the bag. Don't forget it. It has everything you need. And know what's in there as well. Until next time. Ciao.